am. I want to start this video out saying if you watch this full video, you're going to get a free book. This book has changed my life and it has helped me get so much more successful. It's crazy. And I'm going to give you a copy of it as long as you watch this video. And I will know if you watch the full thing. I do keep track of it. So let me first tell you who I am, what I'm about, and why you need to watch this video. So my name is Andrew Napier. I am the CEO and owner of Napier Solutions. We are an online-based educational program. Now, a lot of you guys probably don't know what that is. So let me tell you my backstory, where I came from, and hopefully by the end of it, you'll understand everything. So, minus my video, and put myself over here. And now remember, guys, if you watch this full thing, you get a bunch of free stuff. So my name's Andrew Napier. Like I said, I started Napier Solutions, but it didn't always used to be this beautiful, luxurious company. It used to be a not so luxurious company. It used to be a really, really crappy journey to get here. So I used to be an auto mechanic. I went to high school, then went to trade school, and for my whole youth, I was literally told by everybody I knew to get a trade job, to get a skill, and to go do that. And that's how you're going to pay all your bills. It's how you're going to make all your money. That's how you're going to live your life freedom, right? What nobody ended up telling me is there's a couple things that come along with that. 1, long hours. 2, not a lot of pay. 3, I'm beating up my body really bad. And 4, I didn't like what I was doing. So I followed along with what everybody said, though. I went and became a master mechanic, got certified, got a ton of thousands of dollars in tools, and started doing this job. And at the time, I was single. I was just getting involved inside the mechanic field, and I figured that's what I wanted to do, that's what my path led me to go do. And what ended up happening is I wanted a house. I ended up meeting my wife at the time. She wasn't my wife. She was my fiance. But well, not at the time. But at the time, I ended up meeting my wife. And we clicked. We got together. And we were both really young. And we were like, okay, she's doing another different type of career path. I'm doing mechanics as my career path. And both of us absolutely hated our career path. And both of us were making decent money at the time. At least that's what we thought was decent money. But what ended up happening is we didn't have enough money to cover our bills that we had. And we ended up going into debt. And we ended up having a ton of credit card debt. And what we ended up doing is we were like, okay, well, we have all this credit card debt. We're both working 50 to 60 plus hours a week. And we're barely scraping by paying off all of our debt and paying all of our bills. What can we do to fix this? How are we going to get out of this giant hole that we're stuck in? And we looked around to everybody. We literally looked around to everybody. We were like, well, what are you doing for a living? 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 And every single person we talked to, every single person had some type of career job that they hated, that they didn't like. They weren't making enough money. And 92% of the stuff that they owned, they leased or they rented it pretty much. So they paid, they're doing monthly payments on it. So if they stop paying, somebody could come and take that, right? That's what I mean by a lease. You don't own it yet, right? You're paying on it. Everything was owned. Every single person I talked to, it didn't matter what they were doing as a career. They leased or they didn't own anything. They all got loans to get it. They didn't make a lot of money. And it ended up, what happened was I was sitting down one Christmas and my grandpa was working a career job and he was working it for close to 60 years, I believe. Or not 60 years, I'm sorry. He was 62 years old. He was working the job for close to 30 years, okay? So half of his life. He devoted to this job. He had a retirement plan. He had a 401k. He had everything like set at least to where he thought he could retire. 65 hit for my grandpa. That's really old. He couldn't do much, right? He was very limited on what he could do. He didn't have as much energy. And they ended up cutting his pension that they promised him for the past 30 years. That company had some type of issue with their company where they lost a ton of money and they pulled back everybody's pensions, right? So I seen that. And I was like, every single person I talk to, they're going to end at that goal. They're going to work till they're 60, 65, and then the company's going to let them go and they're going to be stuck. And I was like, well, I don't want that either. But I'm working a career job, or I'm doing this skill job or this career job, and everybody's making about as much money as me. Everybody's living the same type of life as me, and everybody's just okay with this. I was like, I'm not okay with this. I don't want that to be my life. I want a life of luxury, of freedom, of do whatever I feel like doing. I want to own my own business. I want to run stuff. I want to run my life. I want to be in full control. But I was an auto mechanic. I had no technical skills. I was in a ton of credit card debt, and I just had gotten with my fiance, and we were trying to build our lives, trying to build a family, just trying to do the diligence of life. And we ended up saying, okay, well, we need to devise a plan. How are we going to get out of this hole? So what we did is we cut up all of our credit cards. As you guys can see with the picture below, that is a picture of me cutting up my credit card. I put a big X on it so I wouldn't use it anymore, but we were in a ton of debt. And we were like, well, how do we get out of a ton of debt? First thing, stop spending. So we cut up the cards so we couldn't spend any more money, right? So now we're scraping by bare minimum at both hustling our day jobs, working 60 plus hours a week, both hating our lives, me and my fiance both. So we ended up looking for alternatives. We wanted to make a ton of money. We didn't want to work a lot, and we wanted to own our own business, right? Them were the three things we were looking for. So we turned to online. We started looking at all of these online entrepreneurs, all these online careers. We just did a ton of research into online, right? And we got blown away with the results people were getting. I mean, there's like a millionaire made every single week working online. And we were seeing that. We were like, like, if I could just have half the money you're making, I could pay off all my debt. Like, I could live a luxurious lifestyle on half of what you're doing. So we ended up buying this program and this program and this program and this program. And what ended up happening is we got into more debt, right? So more debt piled up. And we had all of these programs that were said to make us rich. We seen people make a ton of money and start a business using these programs. And we seen it happen firsthand, like we watched people do it. So we started signing people up under the impression that they could have what our mentors had, the same dream lifestyle that they had, what they promised us, right? And what happened is we had 5 or 10 people over here, 5 or 10 people over here, 5 or 10 people over here. We made a little bit of money, right? Paid off a little bit of our debt. We got the little bit of a taste that online could be a really valuable way to make money, because we did this in our spare time working our full-time jobs. And we literally made like a check that like a whole check pretty much. Meaning like 2 weeks worth of both of us working, we made that online working part-time. So we were like, crap, online works. This is amazing. This is great. Let's sign up for all these programs and let's learn all this stuff. And what happened is every single person that we worked with, or every single person that we brung into the group, they started to get mad at us because we could not offer them help. We could not offer them the lifestyle that we were promising. We couldn't deliver on our offer. And it wasn't because of us. It was because the systems that we were given were not valuable for everybody. They didn't work for everybody. You had to have a certain type of skill set to make that work. And most people don't have that one skill set to make that one thing work. And that was the problem we were running into. You had all these different people and it didn't work for everybody. You know what I mean? So we had a bunch of angry people. So we were like, you know what? I'd rather be in debt than have a bunch of mad people at us. So we gave back all of our money that we made online, returned it back to the people. Everybody started having a wonderful time again. So what was our next step? Very simple. I remember this night like it was the very first day I was born. Like literally it replays in my mind day after day, because this was that aha moment. This was the moment that I hit rock bottom and I had to bounce back up. I had no choice. So me and my fiance now at the time, now she's my fiance, before she was my girlfriend, we went out to McDonald's. So we were like, well, let's go out to eat. Let's go on a little date. And when I'm talking date, I mean, you guys are probably laughing, thinking, oh, they went to McDonald's, ha, ha, ha. Well, we were living on McDonald's dollar menu money. Like that's all we could afford. And just being in the presence of each other and just trying to work through life at an outside situation, like outside of our house, outside of all the drama, outside of all the BS, just being in a different spot and being with each other helps a ton. So we were sitting there, we were going back and forth, going over what we could do to get out of this thing. We were going over everything we could do. And we were talking about bankruptcy. We were thinking about filing bankruptcy because we had enough credit card debt to do that. And then we started kicking around the idea of that, blah, 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 blah. And I was like, no, we're not going to file bankruptcy and screw our lives. Like, we're young. Let's not do that. Let's not do that. That's the number one thing everybody's ever taught me. Never file bankruptcy, right? But it was on the table because we had no other options. So I was like, nah, babe, don't worry about it. I got this. The next program that we use, the next system that I build, the next people that I help, this is going to be it. This is the money maker. This is only thing we're going to have to worry about is what vacation we're going to take, what island we're going to buy, what big house we're going to get, what supercar we're going to buy. That's the only thing we're going to have to worry about, babe. Don't worry about it. Don't sweat it. Because she was freaking out. She was like, we're broke. We have no money. We're both working beyond full-time jobs and we can't afford anything. But this is what everybody told us to do. So what do we do? Like, what do we do? Like, we seen this dude get rich online, but what we didn't see is how they did it. What they didn't share with us is the network of everything that they did, the back office stuff, all the knowledge, all the training, all the miscellaneous stuff that they had. They weren't sharing that. They were just fronting their dream, saying, hey, come live like me. Woo! Come party. Woo! This is the life I live. This is what I do every day. I party. Woo! And we were buying into that hype because we wanted that life. And what we didn't realize is we weren't them. They had a skill that we didn't have. They were good at video. They were good at like some crazy stuff that we didn't understand technology. We knew we could make money online because we did before, but it fell on its face. We didn't think we could do it long-term as an actual business for the rest of our life. So what ended up happening is we ended up going home and my buddy came over and he was an online entrepreneur at the time as well. And he was like, Andrew, bro, like this was a couple weeks after this McDonald's date, but that McDonald's date was the night that I realized that the next thing I do, this has to work. There's no option. We don't have another month. We don't have till the end of this week. Like this shit's got to work now. Like we're about to lose the house, our cars, everything we ever worked for. And we're still working, both of us, 60 plus hours a week. And we can't even make the ends meet. So my buddy came over and he was like, bro, dude, like I've had such an amazing weekend. I did this. I made all this money. I met all these people. They did this, just throwing it in my face. And it literally felt like somebody was throwing rocks at me. Like every single thing that he said he did or he accomplished, I was like, you did what? What? You just made 20. Like what? Like, how are you doing this? Why am I stuck spinning my wheels? Why? And I literally broke down. I was like, bro, that's great for you, dude. I'm glad you're having success online. I'm glad you went to this cool event and it changed your life. I'm glad that happened for you. I'm glad you're sharing with me all of this information. But how is it going to work for me? I'm broke still. How am I gonna get out of this situation? And he was like, let's do this, bro. How about I teach you everything that I know and just give it to you. I'm going to teach you everything I know. I'm going to teach you exactly how I made this money. I'm going to teach you everything from going from $0, zero notability, zero anything online, zero any knowledge at all to having my own business. I'm going to give you all that knowledge. And he literally spent a weekend here going over notes, strategies. I mean, I literally have this whole notebook. This is a ginormous notebook. Look at how thick it is. Every single page is full of a different strategy, is full of a different tool, is full of different, like all of the iceberg, the back office stuff, all the stuff that nobody talks about, nobody sees, right? And we're going back and forth. We're going over all this information. I was like, yeah, man, This is great. Writing it all down, taking down notes as fast as I could, and got done. Weekend was over. He was like, all right, man, well, I explained everything I know. Now you know it. You have everything that I have. Now you just got to put it together, and you got to make it work. A couple weeks went by, and I tried. I put every single thing he taught me. I put it all together. I built a plan. I said, okay, this is it. This is how I'm going to run it, bro. But before I spend any more money, before I waste any more money in advertising, before I do anything, I want to make sure this is going to be right. I want to make sure it's good. This is going to be cool, right? So can you check it for me? And he's like, sure, bro, send it over, whatever. I send it to him, and he's like, and he sends me back a picture, and he's like, throw it away. He's like, it's garbage. And I was like, what? Like, I just did everything you said to do. Like, I put it all together. I did this, I did this, I did this. And he's like, you want to honestly know what your issue is? And I was like, yeah, bro, I'm tired of working my mechanic job. I'm tired of this credit card debt. I'm tired of having all these debt collectors calling me. I'm tired of my wife worried if we're going to be able to start a family. I'm tired of her asking me if we're going to have our house next month. I'm tired of this. Yes, I want to know how I could fix myself, how I could fix this, how I could build this business. And he's like, let me show you something. And he sends me this picture. Now, in this picture, there is about 17 entrepreneurs, and every single one of them did over $10 million in their online business. Every single one of them people. And you know what he tells me? He's like, I went to 2 live events. The first live event, every single one of them people were in the stands next to me. The next live event I went to, every single one of the people were getting that award. And I was like, okay, cool for them. What are you trying to say here, bro? I went to a live event. I put in more effort. I put in more effort than anybody else around me in the stands. I ended up getting up on that stage and getting one of them rewards. Okay, cool, bro. Glad you did that. How is that going to help me? I'm still not getting the point. I'm not understanding this. And he's like, go look in the mirror. I was like, what? What are you talking about? And he's like, look around you then. Look around you. You see all these people making money online. You see this dude getting a couple $1 million. This dude. I mean, thousands of people all over. You see it. You could go to live events. You could see them get rewards. You could meet them. You could talk to them. They will tell you their success. They will tell you everything they did, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. How come they're getting rich and you're not? What's the variable between them and you? And I was like, I don't know. They're them and I'm me. And that's the only thing I'm seeing. And he's like, that's kind of the point I'm trying to make. But the point I'm trying to make is you have everything they have. You have all the tools. You have all the systems. You have all the guides. You have everything. Who's the one putting it together? You. You are. You're the person putting this together. So if they're getting success, all them people are getting success. What's the variable? If you have the same tools, the same education systems, everything the same as them, why aren't you doing it? Because you're broken. Because you think you can't do this. So every single person you're talking to, Andrew, they feel that vibe. They know it. They know Andrew. He doesn't know what he's talking about. He doesn't seem like he's an education. He doesn't seem like he knows what he's doing. He doesn't seem well educated. He doesn't seem like he has the plan. He doesn't make any money. He doesn't do this. He doesn't do this. So I lost all trust with everybody. And he's like, do me a favor. Put this all together, but put it together as if you're already a millionaire. And I was like, okay, I'll put it together, whatever, I'll do that. I'll put myself in a millionaire's mindset. I'll act like I'm already rich, that I have no negativity, I have no debt, and I'm doing great in life. I'll put myself in that mindset. Whatever, bro, I'll listen to you. You're making a ton of money, I'm going to listen to you. A couple weeks pass. I go hard. I put every single ounce of energy I had into building my website, into building this system, right? Into building this online business on top of working my day job. So I'm working 60 plus hours a week, coming home, working 5 to 6 hours in the evening, trying to make this thing work, right? I'm spending a ton of time. And this is going on for like 2 months. Then I finally see success. Woo! Shoots up. Finally made a ton of money. Did it. I was like, great, sweet. Every single thing that you guys showed me, I used it. I put this all together. I used all these tools. I used the books. I used the systems. I used the platforms. I used everything that you said to use, that all you guys are using. And the only thing I changed was my attitude towards it. That's it. That's all I changed. And then it started working for me. So I was like, all right, cool. That's great. I'm free now. I could do this. So what could I do? We paid off our credit card debt, right? We started working online. We made enough money to pay off all of our debt. We paid off all of our credit card debt. And we were like, okay, cool. We've been working for the past 5 years. Let's take a vacation. We're like 23 now, and we've never taken a vacation since high school because we've just been working. Like, we got to go take a vacation. We got to get out. So me and my wife go take a vacation. We go down to Gatlinburg, Tennessee. We rent a cabin for a weekend, just a little getaway, get out and enjoy life, right? This weekend vacation changed my life. I went on this vacation, and the first time in years, I felt like I accomplished something. I was happy with my life. I was like, yes. The only reason I'm here is because I built a business online, and it paid me enough that I was able to leave my job to come down here, and I was able to afford this vacation. I was able to pay off my debt, and we're still keeping the house and all my cars. Sweet! Like, I made it. Woo! Yeah! Woo! Me and my wife were pumped. So we went back from this vacation, and it was a week after coming back from this vacation. I was like, well, online's making about as much money as my mechanic job's paying me. Why am I working both? Right? I'm happier working online, having time freedom and income freedom, better than working 60 plus hours a week and hating my life and hating my job. I'd rather do something I love, right? So I was like, it's worth the risk of not knowing if it's going to work out if I could do something I love. So I quit my day job, right? I quit, walked out, said I'm done being a mechanic. I'm done walking away. 1 month after leaving my mechanic job, I ended up making a ton of money. I started traveling the country by myself. I was like, I'm going to treat myself to a little reward because my house is now paid for. My debt's paid off. My car's paid off. Everything that I was stressing about is done. It's taken care of. I want to go live my life. I want to go vacation. I traveled around the country. I went to Colorado. I went to Arizona. I went to California, Oregon. I mean, everywhere, guys. Florida, etc. And I really got the passion of living life. I felt it in my heart. I was like, I love my life. I love what I'm doing. I love helping people. I love my online business. Why did I ever waste them years of my life as a mechanic when all it was knowledge and a mindset flip to get me to this point? So I came back from traveling around the country, and I was like, okay, it's time to build my business to where it's going to be sustainable for the rest of my life, to where I'm going to be able to have enough money to pay for all of my debt. That's going to occur as I grow older, as I grow bigger, as I want more things. I want my online business to grow with me. So what I ended up doing is, there's another picture of me traveling. What I ended up doing was going out and buying my dream car. I ended up flipping enough. Ended up building a big enough business online that I was making so much revenue, I finally was able to go buy my dream car. I paid off all the debt. A couple months later, I was able to buy my dream car, pay off all my debt, and live a happy life. Like, was it worth the time? Yes. Hell yes, it was worth the time. Here's a check that I wrote for my car, $9,377. That is how much I paid for my dream car. I've always wanted this car because it's always been a dream of mine, and I wanted it. I wanted to prove to everybody that online was the best way to do something. So I cashed the check, I bought the car, and it's been an uphill story ever since. So now, how does this story help you? How does any of this matter to you? Very simple. The past couple of years that I have spent building plans, building businesses, building formats, building all the necessary needs to have a successful business in today's market, I have built. So instead of you spending the next 5 years trying to do the same thing that I've already done, I built an education program to teach you. That's what I did. Woo! So now that is what this video is pretty much for, is I'm inviting you to come check out my educational program. If you want to have this same type of lifestyle that I was able to live, it's more than possible for you. You can easily do this, period, point blank. I call it a business in a box because I'm literally going to give you the templates that I'm using. I'm literally going to give you everything that I'm using that has built my business, and you're just going to be able to use it. You're going to be able to make it useful. I'm going to show you all the tools. I'm going to give you all the tricks. I'm going to show you all the strategies. I'm going to show you everything you're ever going to need. It's going to be a business in a box. You're going to be able to pick it up no matter who you are, where you're coming from, what your background is. It does not matter. You're going to be able to pick up my educational program. You're going to be able to put it together with your life, and you're going to be able to make money online. You could do this, guys. It is very simple. I'm coming from a background of a mechanic. I had no technical skills. I did not know how to work a laptop. I did not know how to do half the stuff that I now know. What's the first step? It's doing. Once you do something so many times, you suddenly know how to do it. How do you know how to do something? You learn. What's the first thing you should do? You should learn how to do something. Once you learn how to do it, you could do it. And then you just repeat. That's the same thing you're going to be doing here. Is I'm going to train you and teach you everything I know so you could take it and you could do it for yourself. So that's the end of my webinar. I hope everybody enjoyed it, and I want to just tell everybody that on the next video, I'm going to be giving you away a bunch of free stuff. It's going to be explaining my educational program and everything, so go check it out.